So we just got to the visitor center here at Dawson Creek, Mile Zero. So through this door is the original Northern Alberta Railroad Station, built in 1931. So as you enter in here, this is where, and if you were outside, and I'll take some pictures of outside, you can actually tell that this was very much looks like a train station. So the visitor center that you walk into that has like the gift shop in the visitor center, more than likely was like the lobby where the passengers would come in, and here's where they would sit. Some really cool historic photos of Dawson is in here. You know, I think that's the Trappers, or one of them that I was in yesterday. So these are one of the many things that you'd want to do when you're traveling. I mean, you take the time, just don't cover, just not miles under the tires, but coming in and doing this. So, like through my lens said, I need one ticket to Fairbanks, Alaska, please. And I guess his name is Steve. Just gonna, wow. This is like the second time I've seen a bunch of typewriters and adding machines on this trip. I think the video from yesterday kind of shows it. There might be enough content for this one that I'll do make this a standalone video. Look at all this old luggage. This is cool. It's really nice how, I mean, this is all free. I think there was a donation box up front, but it's really nice how people, again with the dolls. I think that's just, I'm just going to be seeing dolls this whole trip. So she was the visitor center, the docent here was talking about, this was also the living quarters for the railmaster. I should have mentioned that because you're probably thinking, you know, why do they have all this stuff in the train station? If you guys remember the video from yesterday that I just posted, it just loaded actually, they had the living quarters, which I never knew, the living quarters of the school master, the mom, the teacher, the school teacher was also adjacent or connected to the school itself. So they said we can go upstairs. There's a grain house next to it. I probably will not do that. Wow, it's warm up here. So this would be the living quarters. Looks like, so if this would be the parents would be. There's only 2 rooms up here. Very interesting though. Now, if you want to see a better quality video, check out Through My Lens. Check out his videos, Through My Lens, Alaska Highway. He's very, very technically adept, very clean footage, very entertaining, very informative. So wow, a lot of dolls. A lot of dolls going on. All right. So I guess this would be like the kids' room. Little closet's kind of spooky looking too. All right, back down the stairs we go. So on this side of the museum, on the other side of the train station, I'm walking through the lobby. This is oh, there's him. A lot of taxidermied animals here. We'll probably see a little bit of all this. If not a little bit of all this, all of this. Wow, look at all these owls. Oh my God. Country Bear Jamboree, this is where they put them. Buff. forgot their names. Yep, this is where they retired. The Country Bear Jamboree at Disneyland. Lower jawbone of a... Okay. Don't know what that is. Let's move forward. This looks interesting. It's a tusk of something. Mammoth jawbone. Mastodon. Oh, he's not very happy. Mule deer. So once again, this is the Dawson Creek Visitor Center. Cool little museum.
At kilometer 305, mile 162, we passed the Sickany Chief Bridge, one of the few remaining 1943 bridges still in existence. The highway now bypasses. The highway has to have constant maintenance, and it is still being rerouted in places. In 1988, a large section of the Trutch area was realigned for much better driving. At kilometer 465, mile 300, we passed through the old Hudson's Bay town of Fort Nelson, now a modern city in northern British Columbia. A modern museum has recently opened with many interesting historical displays. The highest point of the highway is reached at summit at kilometer 621, mile 392, at an elevation of 1,295 meters or 4,250 feet. From here, we go through some of the most beautiful scenery on the highway at Stone Mountain Park. And along Muncho Lake.
So I'll give a little bit of history here. After the bombing of Pearl Harbor, Alaska and Hawaii were territories. They were not yet states. So we had 48 states, but Alaska was the strategic point. And what they wanted to do was connect a road. Because at that point, prior to the Alaska Highway, the only way to get equipment, supplies, men to the military installations in Alaska was via airlift or seaways. And they felt if either one of those were compromised, they needed to have a ground route. So the United States came in and told Alaska, hey, if you allow us, we'll pay for everything. And it was the Department of War, which is now the Department of Defense. But the Department of War went ahead and funded it with all the men, supplies, whatever it took to do it. And then it takes, this was an interesting sign I was looking at, Alaska Highway, U.S. Army Highway Patrol Station. But there were, so they built it, and it wasn't paved right away. It wasn't paved for a while. It was a little bit of it was only open for military, I believe. And then I guess after the war, they went ahead and allowed civilian travel. And then there was a certain point in time where the U.S. government, the United States government, relinquished it and gave it to the Canadians to control. So there's a lot of historic things. They still go by mile because the military, the United States, was still using miles as a distant marker. So here we have mile 0. So and they historically still keep it that way when it comes to their addresses. So you'll still see mile this, mile that, mile 0. But then you got to know you're actually on kilometers. I mean, there's the kilometer marker also. So that was just a quick one. I don't think I can do much more here. I'll probably shoot this one up soon. There's a couple of ones I did earlier that I'll compile and do an end of day. But hey, everybody, this is real exciting for me. I got to get out of here, get back to the campsite. I want to be back there by 9. There is a grain tower that has more history, but I'm not going to do that. So I hope you enjoyed this little walkthrough. Once again, if you're doing the Dalton, whether you're northbound or southbound, take time to come into the visitor center. Maybe a half hour. You can knock this out in a half hour unless you're reading everything. Okay, bye.